Hi everyone, with you here today is Ebass, and it's a pleasure to have with me here, Jarvie. Hello, Jarvie.
Hello, how's it going? Thanks.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming around. It's a pleasure to have you here, and welcome to my show where we talk about Hive related questions.
All right, let's do this. Should be good.
Yeah, we good. Thank you so much. So, firstly, let's start with the introduction. Can you introduce yourself to my audience briefly? What you do on the Hive blockchain and what you represent?
My name is Jarvie, and my username is Jarvie, and I've been with this blockchain since 2018, before the split to Hive. I just came in here because I was a photographer, and I was very used to using lots of different social medias, and it was nice to interact with the photographers that were here. And my now business partner was into photography, and we connected, and he decided that he would make a better user interface that for himself. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, there's a few things that I would like for a user interface for doing the kind of blogging on the blockchain. And so I asked him for a few things, and then I ended up just working with him, and we created a new interface for social media on the blockchain. And it grew in popularity, and then when we switched from Steam blockchain and forked to the Hive blockchain, it kind of, for a period of time, became the maybe de facto or most popular interface. During that time, over that course of that time, we also started other projects like Peak Monsters, which is a marketplace for the Splinterlands game. And we have since done also open source software for Hive, and that is run by the Peak Open project. So we're also block producers in the top 20, which is also called Witnesses, I guess. But yeah, so.
Oh wow, that's really great. That's really great. Thank you so much for sharing out. So what can you say about your experience so far on Hive blockchain?
I still love the concept over all these years of having true ownership of over your content and your connections, meaning that no one, not even us, not even our company and our interface, can really separate your bond and connection with a user, and that you have the freedom of using whatever interface that you want. And if which brings some competitiveness to the space, more options to the space. Theoretically, this is all like the things that I love, having that true ownership of your content and your connections, right? So even if we left or another company left, that doesn't prevent you from moving to another place and interacting with your users, with your connections and your communities that you like. So that concept is what I like. I really do more and more love some of the technology that Hive has that other places don't seem to have. At the same time, it's frustrating that it isn't as known and praised and sought after by other people in blockchain. But that's okay, because I also know that people in blockchain, having their respect isn't that great of a thing. A lot of them are kind of just after, they're not after the technology as much. And so me liking the technology isn't as big of a thing to them. They're kind of after the financial aspects of it more. So, and I just love to create new products and features and things, and Hive just really does well with a lot of stuff, like the free transactions and the fast transactions, and a lot of like things for people that create websites that is really nice. But yeah, so I could go on. How do you feel about that so far?
Man, it's been great, honestly, to see that. Honestly, Hive has been doing a really great job, and I'm so happy you've had a good experience so far, so good. It's nice to see that Hive has been a community that standed out differently from other social Web3 space so far. The transaction aspect is so great to see that Hive doesn't have any charges for any transaction fee, and all of that is so amazing. And sometimes I just wonder how, but then it's just great. It's a very nice Web3 space. So can you tell us more about PickD? Can you tell us about PickD?
Yeah, PickD started 7 years ago. Sorry, 7 years ago. It's been a while. I can't believe that. PickD used to be called Steam Peak before the Hive blockchain came around, and so we switched to something a little bit different. PickD, which peak, mountain peak. So our logo's a mountain peak. But also, if you say it peaked, which is totally fine to call it peaked, in English that means to like pique your interest. It piqued my interest, which is kind of is fitting to what we do. And also to peak is to also like summit, to get to the top. So it's kind of like this 3-in-1 wording that for the name of the site and the company. We basically, if you think back to how it started, we created a site that we wanted to use that had all the things that we really enjoyed, me and my business partner. And then we looked to our users, and users are like, all right, we would like this or we would like that. And so we're like, okay, we'll make it. We'll make that. We'll make this. It's still kind of part of the culture. If you were to go onto our chat channels, we have some on Discord and some on PickD on the chat that's there, where people ask for certain things. Nowadays, we've done most of the things, so there's less requests, but it's very much part of the culture of like, there's this thing that's not working perfectly or could be better, and super fast there's changes. We look towards that sort of interaction from our user base and react pretty quickly, and that has been part of our culture. We have spent a lot of time in the last year or two working with these open source features, like a marketplace between Hive and HBD, like not the actual marketplace, but the interface. And then we did a chat system, a little bit like Discord. And then we did polling and the ideas. Well, and there was other things like a system where people could say, hey, I want this to be done. And someone else says, I'll do that. And a nice interface for helping people to do those like wishes, like it's like a reverse Fiverr sort of theme, and just a bunch of stuff like community stats. All these things were meant to be usable by all the Hive ecosystem, by all of the interfaces. Like there's another interface called Essensi, and they also use the polling system that was created by this open source project. But we would think, okay, what does PickD and other interfaces need right now? Let's create an open source system for them all to use it. So that's a little bit more about PickD and some of the ecosystem around it. So the idea is creating different cool tools and seeing if, well, are they small and let's just add them to PickD, or are they larger and let's create an open source system that is decentralized so that all the interfaces and apps of Hive can choose if they want to use that and integrate it rather easily.
Oh, that's really great. Honestly, you guys are doing a very great job. Honestly, with PigD. PigD seems to be one of my best Hive app where and websites where you
Thank
could just come. It has got everything, literally everything. I love the features. I love Snap. I love everything about PigD is just so amazing. It's so easy to use. It's straightforward. You guys are really doing a really great job, and I acknowledge and give you the respect. Thank you so much for adding value to Hive, making Hive a better place for us, and also for making Hive easy to access through this site. Thank you so much. So, what was the inspiration behind creating PigD? How was it for you?
Well, just go back to that story of we were into photography, using the site, posting pictures, and we wanted a better experience, more intuitive, and so that people could use it without having to watch a video or learning from somewhere. They would just intuitively know how to use the site, and it would save us time. So we spent the time in order to create something that would save us time. So saving time and being intuitive, and also giving all of the tools, and that can sometimes be hard. Giving tons of tools while remaining an intuitive experience is a delicate line to balance. But that is part of the way that I operate. I want to have all the things at my disposal, and I don't want to have to go and learn how something works. I just want to look at it and go, I understand. I know how it works. No one has to tell me. I know how it works. It just makes sense.
It really does make a lot of sense. It really does make a lot of sense.
There are things on the site that could always be better, and you have to make that decision of where you put the time and effort, and things could be more intuitive. The wording could be better in different places, and we just hope that we're getting better.
That's really great. Thank you so much for sharing out. So, are there other features the PigD team would love to add to the Hive blockchain through the PigD app? Should we expect any new features soon?
Well, we have spent some time trying to find ways to integrate some AI stuff. And I think that what we've done is focus right now on the image aspect, because people want to put in nice thumbnails and they're not always a photographer. So we've done some AI stuff, and I think that's a really interesting use case for the Hive blockchain that we haven't seen as much. And what I'm saying is that AI generation of images costs money every time you create one. So if we could go and provide that service to users, and if the back-end system of whoever we're using charges like 2 cents to generate an image, Hive is really well aligned for that, because you can pay 2.1 cents or something like that, like very easily pay very small amounts, and there's no extra charge, and rather quick. It's not instantaneous, but it's rather quick especially if you're using Hive keychain on, and then you can just approve that payment quite quickly. And so that's an interesting use case. Like, I just need to generate 2 or 3 images, where most of the image systems out there, whether it be Midjourney or even OpenAI, they're charging $10 or $20 a month for their services. And if you're creating, let's say 300, 400, 200 images a month, those services may be okay. But if you only need a few images, if you are only, using them for thumbnails or additions inside of your posts, you may only need 10, 20, 50 images a month. And so those systems may not be worth it. And you may not have a credit card, You may be from some other country where you aren't allowed to sign up for those services. And so being able to pay with crypto is perhaps a niche, a service that could be really handy out there. So we have done this already. We have quite a few AI models to help create images. We'll be adding more. I'd say that maybe even by the time this airs, I don't know when you post these up, but we're adding in a free model. And it's not free because it's free. It's free because we ourselves are going to pay the price for them. But we want everyone to try these generation models and to be able to say that we have a free option which you can use every 10 minutes and try one. It's not the top end one because we would go broke if we allowed that for free.
PD can
But
never
it's
go broke.
one. Yeah. So I spend a lot of time thinking about the way right now the technology is leaning towards a lot of interactions with AI. And so I think about that a bunch. I have thoughts on that as well. But I don't know, that probably answers your previous question a little bit. We would like the writing experience to get better and just more intuitive because not everyone understands Markdown. That would be something that we would love to do. We want to keep improving on the open source projects, especially with the stats aspect and maybe polls as well. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now. See where you think we should go
Thank
next.
you so much. Thank you so much for sharing out. It was amazing to listen and hear from you, your feedback about my question. Thank you so much for giving a good answer to that. Thank you so much. So yeah, I have a personal question I would love to ask. Should we expect PD to develop a features where you can upload your videos through PD soon instead of going to YouTube to pick a link?
We would need to have a video uploading service where we could use our interface and send it to their databases. So you have services like 3Speak that have had that in the past, and there hasn't been full-time uptime on that service, and as more users request that, like it could be very, like that may push us to finally integrate that. There is not an option for us to store the video because storage of video is an insanely expensive proposition that requires not just databases but like warehouses, and it's hard or expensive to the user, and we don't want it to be expensive to the user. So you already have this YouTube, which provides basically free storage of video, which is pretty special. It's hard to compete with that. Now, if YouTube had an ability for us to upload using our site and go to a user's YouTube, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Now, we also would love to see the decentralized and blockchain related web services to really excel. And if they want, it's up to them to allow our services to upload directly to their databases and show their images, show their videos. So, and as they, that could definitely be an option. Is that something that you're thinking, or you want it to be YouTube specifically, or stuff like 3Speak, or were you thinking that we could have had our own storage of video?
And personally, I've just wished personally PigD has their own uploading system where you could upload videos and all of that. It's just been something like, not just me.
Yeah.
I've come across a lot of people who wished like PigD has a uploading system or website or feature rather where you can upload it. Someday we hope to like see this feature someday on the Hive blockchain. Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're okay if it's using a system like 3Speak or some other?
Yeah, a system like 3Speak wouldn't be bad. I think the 3Speak teams are doing a really amazing job as well. They're trying their best and putting all into it. So probably if Big Deal's like going to partner with them or so, it will be really nice to see that the features of 3Speak it's also available on PigD. It will be really nice, and I think with that way it will attract more users to PigD since they also have these features, and one website wouldn't be so crowded. Right? I think it's going to PigD is going to be like a helping hand for also like it's going to like help reduce traffic on a particular website. So yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. I just hope so. I hope so someday, and I wish PigD team the best in everything they are doing because they are really doing a really amazing job, and I love PigD so much. I love PigD so much. So I just wish someday. Nice. Thank you so much for always giving us a reason to find it easy to operate on the Hive blockchain.
Tell me a little bit about you and your audience.
Okay, Ebass on the Hive blockchain, and my name is Emmanuel Happy, and I've literally been on the Hive blockchain for a year and some months now. So far so good, and I've literally just been finding a way to bring my audience together to educate them about Hive and also learn from experienced bloggers and give them reasons not to give up on Hive, because starting up on Hive it was not so easy for me and I had some tough times. It's just like not easy for some newbies. I didn't really know my way around at some point, and at some point I went astray. I did some things which I wasn't even aware, although I didn't get into the wrong hands. I got corrected on time before it all went out, so I deleted the post. So I just needed a space where I could educate my audience about stuff on Hive, learning from experienced bloggers, and also just educate people majorly, and also bringing people together and just trying to like put off things together. And the older I get, the better I get. Also I grow every day, so I add new features to things. So yeah, that's it basically in a summary.
Okay,
thank you so much for asking.
And your audience, who's your audience here?
My audience are the people on the Hive blockchain. I post my content on the Hive blockchain. So whenever I'm done, we always have it on the Hive blockchain. So that's it. So personally right now it's just me and you. So after the whole meeting, we post it on the Hive blockchain for people to see, learn, educate, and also have an idea of how the system runs for newbies and already existing users.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much for sharing out so much about the Hive blockchain. So far so good about PigD, and also for making PigD easier for people to access, a good place for people to stay, and also thank you so much for your time, your attention, and your support towards this show. And thank you so much. And with this, we've come to the end of the show with Jarvie. Thank you so much, Jarvie. I really do appreciate, and I hope to have more collaborations with you in the future someday again. Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.